This simple 10-minute method changed my life, and I believe it will do the same for you. In this video, I am going to show you exactly how I went from destabilized after a life-altering event to grounded, knowing what was facts versus fears that were being projected, and having clarity on the next right step. That way you can begin stabilizing yourself again. After life happens, shifts happen, a lot of people try to figure everything out immediately. But the truth is, stability comes before strategy. And if this sounds like something that would be useful to you, please subscribe and like so you get to see more content like this. Now, what is the difference between fact and fear being projected? Facts are objectively true right now. They come with a timeline and usually a person of authority making the decision. Those things are facts. If you're going to lose your job or you're going to get laid off, you really wouldn't take it seriously if the mailroom person comes to your tech department and says, "Hey, you're going to get fired." Would you believe them? Or would you go, "Okay, thank you for the heads up," and then go confirm that with the boss who has the authority to fire you? But if that person from the mailroom came to you and said, "Hey, I heard you're getting fired," and then you immediately went, "Oh my God, I have to look for work. I'm not going to be able to feed the kids. The bills are due." That's just fear projecting because you have no facts. You've got one person without authority saying you're going to get fired. So we see the difference. A fact has a timeline and usually somebody with the authority to make that decision, making the decision, whereas projected fears are things that have happened before, could happen again, maybe things that'll happen in the future. They could be possible, but without a timeline and somebody definitively saying these things are happening, there you go. They're more projections. So let's do an example. So you've lost your job because it's a layoff. You've been told it's a layoff because the company has been absorbed by a different corporation. The person with authority to do so has said so. You've been given an effective date and you've been given the appropriate paperwork. Fact, laid off. Hopefully on a Monday, and hopefully you saw it coming. The fear surrounding that is, I can't feed the kids, or I can't pay the bills. Oh my God, I'm going to lose the house, or gasp, we're going to have to move in with the in-laws. That's terrifying. But as we can see, facts have the timeline. Facts are concrete. They are objectively true things here and now. Fears are always what could happen. And I'm not knocking. Fear is real. It feels real. Therefore, it is real. Feelings are always real. They're not always true. That's where this exercise comes in. And truth be told, you can do more. Once you've figured out what is objectively true and what is possible but not effectively true, you actually can ask yourself, what's in my control this week? Your behavior is in your control. The choices you make are in your control. What's out of your control is the choices other people make, the behaviors of others, because those are their choices. You can't control those. But there is something you can do once you've discovered what is facts, what is fears. Take your facts and say, okay, what is one stabilizing thing I can do in the next 24 hours? With job loss, what could stabilize you? Revamping your resume, connecting with friends and colleagues to see if there's a lead on a similar job where your skill set will be appreciated and hired on. Can you check your upcoming expenses so you're not blindsided by bills? Can you, do you have the flexibility to move to a different area for higher paying work? Can you do some research? So those are things you can do to stabilize, especially your emotional state in the next 24 hours, is to look at it and say, okay, what's one thing? Check your finances and your budget so you're not blindsided by bills. Talk to somebody. Reach out to someone and ask if your services would be of value to them. Truly. And honestly, if you think this is helping, or it's something you could use more of, this is actually from my Fear versus Fact mini reset. It's available, linked in the description. It is a 10-minute exercise. It is free to download. And truthfully, that has changed my life. To do this exercise, to ground myself in the present, to what is objectively true, what am I afraid of? What is in my control? What is out of my control? What can I do in the next 24 hours? And going through all of those destabilizing events with this method has it's been life-changing. I am not afraid of change because I've got a method. You need a strategy. But you can't strategize without stability. That's like trying to strategize on a sinking boat. It doesn't work. You can only strategize so long before you're neck deep in water. You gotta plug the hole. You gotta bail out the water. You gotta find safe harbor. Then you can strategize. So if you found this useful or entertaining, hit the subscribe button and leave a like and share this with someone you think could use it.